Welcome to Ghouls Night Out with your hostesses, Brandy and Jody.
Hello, beautiful ghouls. Welcome. My name is Brandy. I'm here with my sister, Jody.
Hello.
So, how was your week?
It was not very good because I was sick most of the week.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
It's this fucking weather. It's been kicking my ass. We don't have spring or fall anymore.
No.
I don't know where you guys are living, what the weather's like there, but it fucking sucks here.
Yes, it does.
So, I haven't been exercising because it's just too cold.
I never started. That's so bad.
I did twice this week.
Well, that's way better than me.
Which, that sucks for me. I was but I'm really gonna try and get back into it. But I said that last week too. So
Well, you saw my post in Facebook.
Yes, I did, and you saw my comment.
That was uncalled for. Because, and if no one's on our Facebook page, my post what did it say?
It said yoga can cause, possessions,
yes,
like demons.
Demon possession.
Yes.
I said, that's why I haven't started my yoga yet.
Yes, and mine was a very funny GIF about, it was like a file drawer, and it was labeled as excuses, and a hand opens it and is looking through for this excuse.
It's not an excuse.
I wouldn't want to get possessed either. So I get it. But yeah, are you still on your diet though?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's good.
I've been doing pretty good with that.
That's good.
So.
And I've noticed a change in you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh. I noticed it, I think you came over last week for something.
I did?
Yeah. And I noticed it last week. So yeah, keep up with that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
So, as you know, every single week I look at the news and I try and find funny or interesting or like spooky current news that's going on.
Yeah.
And there never is anything that's
all depressing.
Yeah, and it's literally like getting to me. I can't look at the news anymore. Mm-hmm. So I found a couple news stories that I just kind of want to touch on that are interesting, if you will. But then we're going to move on to some fun facts about cats.
Yay, I like fun facts.
So I'm going to start doing that more. If I find something funny in the news, I'll talk about that too, like I did this week. We're going to try some fun facts from now on.
All right.
So, new segment, yay.
Woohoo!
Okay, so the first story that I came upon is kind of funny, but it's like, dude, come on. There is a 69-year-old Dutchman who he's taking this to court. He's in a legal bid to change his age by 20 years.
What?
He says that you can change your name and you can change your gender now, so why not your age?
So that's not going to do anything. It's not
like
you change your age and voila, you're 20 years younger. It don't work that way.
Well, he is, basically saying on paper he wants to be younger.
You can't do that.
Exactly.
That's not a law, or it's just how it is. You're a certain age, you are born, and then you start counting.
Yeah, it's like
you can't mess with math.
See, okay, well, I was born in 1982, but I'm 21. So,
well, women can do that. That's how the world works. Men cannot change their age.
And seriously, there's no reason to do that. It's just stupid.
It sounds like he either wants attention,
yeah,
or something. Cause
yeah,
that's
yeah.
retarded.
And really, going from 69 to 49 is not that.
Hey, now,
come on,
you're getting close to my age now.
I understand that, but if you're gonna choose how old you are,
you should say you're 20 years older. And then people will be like, damn, they look good for their age.
That's right.
That's how you do it,
You're doing
boys.
so great for your age. You're not senile at all. Oh gosh. Okay, so I thought I'd just mention that. I thought that was kind of funny.
Okay.
The next one, do you remember when I talked about the gay penguin couple?
Yes.
So I don't know if this is the same gay penguin couple, but a gay penguin couple in Australia just gave birth to their baby. It is Sven and Magic. That's the two birds. Okay. So they named their baby Svenjic.
Can we get any more ridiculous? I mean, people have way too much time on their hands.
I know. But they, you know, they're making a nest for him and they're taking good care of it. So I just thought I'd mention that because I'm pretty sure this is the same gay penguin couple that I talked about earlier. So I wanted to let everyone know that their egg hatched.
Yay.
Okay, so on to fun facts about cats.
Yay.
Yay. Okay, cats and dogs actually can predict earthquakes.
Really?
Research suggests that it's because of their advanced hearing. Some studies show cats acting strange before an earthquake hits. My cat acts strange all the time.
I was just thinking that.
I wouldn't be able to tell. My cat loves plastic. Loves it. He especially likes, because we buy a giant pack of toilet paper. So the pack, like when there's no toilet paper left in it, he'll get in it and sit in there and he'll lick it. And I got some stuff from Amazon and there was like plastic wrapping in there, and I found it all over the house. So when I got home, he had carried some upstairs, and
I get like the 24 packs of water.
Yeah.
And you know how they're in that plastic?
Yeah.
I have it over in my kitchen on the floor, and my cat is always in there.
That's hilarious.
He'll just lay on it.
They love plastic.
Or he'll play in it.
Yeah. They lay on it. He licks it. He tries to eat it. Loves plastic bags from like Kroger.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, my cat's weird. So, if we were in a place where earthquakes happened, we wouldn't have any luck with that.
Nope.
Okay, so cats can jump 6 times their length, or over 8 feet in a single bound. This is because their back legs are very strong.
I believe that.
8 feet. That's crazy.
Yeah.
A cat's nose is unique because of the different ridges and markings. This is their version of a fingerprint.
Oh.
Cats have a very fast heartbeat that can beat around twice as fast as a human. A normal heartbeat for a cat is between 140 and 220 beats per minute. So their blood must pump fast too, right?
I don't know.
Isn't that what the heart does?
Yeah.
There are approximately 77 million cats and only 65 million dogs in the U.S., putting to rest the dogs versus cat debate. So,
Cats rule.
yeah. A group of cats is called a clouder,
Oh, I had no idea.
while multiple litters of kittens is called a kindle.
I thought a Kindle was what I read books on.
Now it has 2 meanings, apparently. Cats spend 50% of their waking hours cleaning themselves. There are 5 qualities that define a perfect coat: shine, little dander, no black specks, no bald patches, and not a lot of dead undercoat.
Oh.
Despite what you've seen in movies and cartoons, milk causes severe digestive issues in cats. They really shouldn't drink it.
Oh, I
So
did not know
no
that.
milk for the kitties. Cats make a lot more sounds than just purring and meowing. They have been documented making at least 100 sounds. A cat's ear is made up of 32 muscles. These muscles that give them the ability to turn their ears 180 degrees. I didn't know that. Cats can travel up to 31 miles per hour in short spurts. Their flexible spine is one of the contributors to this. 31?
That's fast.
That's really fast.
No wonder they can catch mice.
Yeah, really. Cats have great vision. However, they have a blind spot under their nose. This is why they are not able to find tidbits on the floor.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I bet that's why our rabbit doesn't either. Because we're like, look, and he's like, nope, bye. So that makes sense. Cats have a third eyelid that is normally only seen when they aren't feeling well.
Oh.
It acts as a windshield wiper that will clear the eye of any dirt or debris. Interesting. Females tend to be right-pawed, and males tend to be left-pawed. In addition, prenatal testosterone exposure was linked to other left-handed occurrences.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
I didn't either. So if you have a kitten and you're not sure, that could be a way to tell.
That might have kept Odin from getting a pink cat carrier.
He likes pink. It's all right. Cats' temperatures usually run higher than humans. A body temperature of between 100.5 and 102.5 is considered normal. They have a genetic mutation that has eliminated their ability to taste sugar. Scientists say it actually complements the spices since they eat large amounts of meat. So I think that one, they really like sweet things. I guess they don't have the ability to taste sugar.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Interesting.
Wish I had that ability.
Yeah, no shit. Cats do sweat, but only through their paws. An especially frightened or nervous cat may leave wet footprints as they walk. I didn't know that either. Scientists believe that the reason cats hate water is because house cat owners shielded them from the elements at the earliest periods of domestication. In addition, they believe since their ancestors were mostly desert cats, they weren't used to water. So it's like passed
My
down.
cat freaking loves water.
Oh, does he?
He's always in the water.
Man, my cat, you cannot leave any water, like cups of water, out. He will knock them over. Every time. It's so irritating. And because I thought he did that one time because he didn't have water in his bowl.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, here, kitty. And he dumped that too. Like right in front of me. I was like, what the fuck, you asshole?
See if I ever give you water again.
Seriously. No, I can't. I have to. Okay, cats' kidneys have the ability to expel salt, but keep the water. So they can drink salt water, but only when it is absolutely necessary. Yeah. Cats not only have whiskers on their face, but also on their front legs and jaw.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's like feelers probably, right?
I guess. I don't see any.
I don't know, maybe they're like shorter. Maybe they're within the hair. Something like that.
I don't know.
Cats aren't able to move their jaws sideways like humans can, making it incredibly hard for them to eat large pieces of food. Once again, cartoons lied, and cats should also avoid raw fish. So no fish for the kitty. If your cat is 8 years old or older and constantly meowing, they might have cognitive dysfunction syndrome, which is similar to Alzheimer's in humans.
Aww.
They meow because they're confused.
Aww. It's going to make me cry.
Babies. Approximately 700,000 people in the U.S. are bit by cats each year. On top of that, up to half become infected.
Oh, well.
If you've ever been paranoid that your cat is trying to kill you, it turns out you weren't being paranoid. Researchers at the University of Edinburgh have proven that house cats and big cats have similar aggressive traits. That means that even though your adorable little baby cat is tiny enough to curl up on your lap while you watch TV, it still has the neurotic and aggressive tendencies of a wild snow leopard.
So it's thinking about biting your face off.
Yes,
That's
at all
awesome.
times. Never trust a kitty cat.
Never look at my cat the same way again.
So those were my fun facts about cats. Yay!
I like
What'd
fun
you do? What'd you do? You haven't told me yet.
No, I have not.
What you've done.
So both of my stories and the witty wrap-up are for Brandy this week.
Yeah, you're making me feel special.
Have you ever heard of Missing 411?
No.
Okay. So Missing 411 is basically people that have gone missing in national forests
Okay.
Okay. So, in the United States National Park System alone, there are more than 84 million acres of preserved woods, deserts, mountains, and other wilderness. So, it's no surprise that in the past 100 years, there have been a number of cases of hikers going missing. Many of those who vanished were young children and inexperienced hikers, but some were healthy and seasoned outdoors people. But is there more to these disappearances than just kids wandering off or hikers becoming disoriented? What could cause someone to seemingly vanish into thin air? There are two approaches people take to explain these mysterious disappearances, earthly and supernatural. Most hiking experts would say that these missing hikers made common mistakes like taking on more than they could handle or failing to time their turn back to beat the sunrise. The disappearances have become a focus for urban legend, online message boards, and nonfiction books. Missing 411 author David Paulides thinks something more intriguing is afoot. His book examines more than 1,100 cases of people mysteriously vanishing from United States parks.
Oh my gosh.
So, this David Paulides guy, he's an investigator and writer known primarily for his research into people who have gone missing under mysterious circumstances. He has written a series of self-published books, Missing 411, in which he provides case details about the disappearances of people in national parks and elsewhere. Mr. Paulides has not propagated any other theory as to why or how these people have disappeared, stating only that the circumstances are strange.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Paulides received his undergraduate and graduate degrees from the University of San Francisco, and then in 1977, he began working for the Fremont Police Department. In October 1980, he transferred to the nearby San Jose Police Department and worked in the patrol division on the SWAT team, Patrol and Street Crimes Unit. During his time as a detective, Paulides worked in the Vice Intelligence Unit and performed a variety of assignments. In 2011, Paulides received approval for a deferred vesting status totaling 16 and a half years of service for his time with the San Jose Police Department. After leaving the police force, Paulides wrote books on the topic of Bigfoot as well as on the disappearances of people in national parks and elsewhere, which he attributes to unspecified, unknown causes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You need to get his books.
Okay.
He's done major research. He's got like maps where he's put the dots of, people that have disappeared, and there's a pattern emerging.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you need to look into that.
Okay.
Although it might be fun to imagine monsters or something spookier, no proof of any supernatural disappearances has ever been provided. But there have definitely been some unexplained disappearances both in the United States and abroad, in formal federal government-run national parks as well as in related spaces like national forests, recreation areas, state parks, and more. So I've got 10 of the most fascinating, I guess, stories of people that have disappeared.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, and I think one of these stories you might have told.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not sure because I've heard these on so many different other podcasts. So.
Well, and you guys don't know this, but we did a few test episodes before we actually started releasing them.
Yeah,
so there
might have been on one of those. I don't know.
Yeah, there are like our very first episodes that, I hope to God you guys never hear.
They were really bad. They were so bad. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I did strange vanishings and missing people and
All right, so number 10 is Bessie and Glenn Hyde in 1928. Bessie and Glenn Hyde were honeymooning in northern Arizona at the Grand Canyon when they vanished. They were traveling down the Colorado River by scow, which is a flat bottom boat.
Oh.
I had to look that up because I was like, what the fuck is a scow? In October of 1928 and planned to boat through the Grand Canyon. Bessie would have been the first woman ever to do so successfully. Glenn had run tough rivers before, but Bessie was a boating newbie. The couple ran across other boaters a few weeks before their disappearance who said they got the feeling that Bessie wanted to turn back. But Glenn was pushing her on. If they completed the trip successfully, they could go on a paid lecture tour, so this trip was more than just fun. There was money at stake. Cut to several months later, the Hydes' boat was discovered that winter, seemingly undisturbed. It was upright and full of supplies, but the couples were gone. There are many theories about what happened to the Hydes. Did they disembark and try a too difficult side hike? Did they have an argument that turned violent? Or were they abducted? There are conflicting reports about what happened to the Hydes and more than one Bessie Hyde sighting in the years that followed.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, what happened?
I don't know.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh shit. I thought we were going to talk about her sightings.
No.
What happened? Their boat was upright with full of supplies?
Yeah, they're just gone.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love it.
Okay, number 9. Alfred Baleharts, 1938. 5-year-old Alfred Baleharts is the first recorded drowning in Colorado's Rocky Mountain National Park, though whether Baleharts actually drowned is controversial. He was camping in the park with his family over the July 4th weekend when he disappeared near the Roaring and Fall rivers. Baleharts had gone with his dad to bathe in the river, and from there he decided to join 2 family friends at a spot about 500 feet upstream of where he and his father entered the river. When everyone returned to the camp, they realized that Balehart was missing. A search began immediately, expanding to more than 100 civilian Conservation Corps members within 45 minutes. But there was barely any sign of Balehart anywhere. A day after he disappeared, a couple hiking about 6 miles away from Balehart's campsite reported seeing a boy who looked like Alfred sitting in an area called the Devil's Nest. By the time authorities arrived, though, the boy was gone. The search went on for 10 days and included 150 men plus bloodhounds, though the size of the search party had dwindled to a dozen by the end of the 8th day.
Oh, that's fucking weird. Mm-hmm. Because, I'm just picturing a 5-year-old by himself. If someone saw him sitting there, he would be there when they got there.
Exactly.
He would not move.
Exactly.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
Another one of the things that this Politis guy, when people go missing, right after, it starts raining.
What?
And so when it rains, they can't track anybody because
evidence
it washes
at all.
away everything.
What?
Yeah. You
God.
really need to get his book.
I do. Holy shit.
All right, number 8. Catherine Van Alst, 1946. 8-year-old Catherine Van Alst disappeared from Devil's Den State Park near Arkansas Ozark National Forest, where she and her family were camping. Van Alst apparently was playing with her brothers when she wandered off and got lost. And what makes her disappearance remarkable is that when she was found after 6 days wandering the woods, she was eerily calm.
Oh my God.
University of Arkansas student Porter Chadwick was part of the search party that found Van Alst. He told the Pittsburgh Press that when he found her, she walked stoically out of a cave and just said, "Here I am."
What?
Many other hikers have gotten lost in that part of the Ozarks and not been as lucky as Van Alst. A grown woman was lost there for 17 days and died just 50 yards from the road. A fan of David Politis' books has taken several 360-degree panoramic shots of a few locations where people have mysteriously vanished. The person who compiled these panoramas suspects abduction. In the shot, you can see, there's a picture of it, but you can see places where an attacker, whether human or animal, may have hidden in thick bush or behind rock outcroppings. If it was indeed an abductor, was it someone or a something lurking in Devil's Den?
Oh my God. That kind of reminds me of the stories that we've told where people, I think it was what I did, where people lost track of time. Mm-hmm. And that if they're searching for her, and this is what I picture anyway, if they're searching for her and screaming her name.
Yeah.
And she comes out of this cave and she's like, "Here I am."
Yeah.
She just wandered into this cave 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And now she's like, "I'm right here."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what's creepy.
Yeah, that is creepy.
It's why was she
so calm?
Yeah.
And hey, I'm right here.
Okay, here I am.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Crazy.
Number 7, Paula Weldon, 1946. There's an area in Green Mountain National Forest near Glastonbury Mountain and Vermont's Long Trail that believers in the paranormal call Bennington Triangle. The area got this name because of a handful of mysterious disappearances which occurred between 1945 and 1950. Paranormal author Joseph A. Citro coined the term because of the supposedly supernatural circumstances surrounding these vanishings. Paula Weldon was the second person to go missing in that area of Green Mountain National Forest during this period. 18-year-old Weldon was a college student who set out on the Long Trail in December 1946. She was dressed for walking and not a long hike, wearing jeans, coat, and sneakers. Her attire implied that she planned to return before dark, when temperatures were supposed to dip below freezing. Weldon told her roommate that she was taking a long walk and she never returned. Several people spotted her as she hitchhiked her way to the trail and walked to the trailhead. When Weldon didn't come back by dark, her roommate let the school know and the search began. Classes were suspended so students could help with the search. The process was disorganized at first until Weldon's father called in favors from police in 2 surrounding states. Unfortunately, the search didn't pan out, and frustrated family and friends had their own theories about what happened to her. Did Weldon run off with a boyfriend? Was she abducted or commit suicide? Or did she die of exposure because of her inappropriate attire? No one has discovered her body, so her disappearance remains a mystery. There's a rumor that this area of the Long Trail is home to a creature called the Bennington Monster. Could this Sasquatch-like animal have something to do with the disappearance? Regardless of whether people think this disappearance is natural or supernatural in nature, the cases do have a few things in common. The missing 10 tended to be alone when they disappeared or separated from their group by at least 50 yards. Bad weather and chaotic, disorganized searches are also a running theme in these cases. You can believe that these were accidents, abductions, or something even more sinister. But regardless, there are lessons in these stories about how to stay safer when you're out in the woods. Yeah, don't go in the woods.
Serious, especially by your freaking self.
Yeah, that's just...
And wait, she hitchhiked to take a walk?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was far away. I don't know. All right, number 6. Larry Jeffrey, 1966. Larry Jeffrey disappeared near the peak of 12,000-foot Mount Charleston in Humboldt-Tiobe National Forest, just a short drive from Las Vegas. The search began immediately after the boy wandered away from his brothers, and within days the National Guard and a team of bloodhounds had joined the search. In a TV interview, David Paulides told reporter George Knapp, who also hosts the Coast to Coast AM radio show, that there were no predators afoot that day, and since the area they were in was pretty secluded, it's easy to rule out an abduction by car. This boy just walked into oblivion, Paulides said.
Oh my God, what is that?
I don't know. When Jeffrey disappeared, he was wearing light clothing, and authorities were doubtful that he could survive the cold temperatures at night. Searchers found and lost the trail a few times, and they discovered evidence that the boy had been eating insects and foraged berries along the way. Overall, around 1,000 people searched for 16 days, but never found him.
Holy shit.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, and you want to think that if there are a ton of people looking for this kid, they are covering every ounce, but they're not.
Yeah, and they would have found some kind of something.
Exactly. Like
you can't walk through something and not leave something behind.
Right.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
All right, number 5 is Dennis Martin, 1969. Dennis Martin was on a camping trip near the Tennessee-North Carolina state line with his family in the summer of 1969. It was an annual Father's Day tradition. All of the men in the Martin family headed to Smoky Mountain National Park to camp and hike. Dennis and his brothers had planned a prank on the adults. They were each going to jump out on different sides of the campsite to scare them. It's a pretty typical prank that should have ended with some startled shouts and then a lot of laughter. The laughter ended quickly, though, when they realized that Dennis was missing.
Oh, shit.
Family, park rangers, and other hikers spread out to search for Dennis almost immediately, but he was nowhere to be found. That evening, there was heavy rainfall, which is bad news when you're trying to track a missing little boy. The search for Martin became the largest in National Park Service history. One of the people searching was Park Ranger Dwight McCarter, who had successfully tracked down hundreds of missing persons including young children. McCarter was a seasoned tracker, and he was struck by the complete lack of any tracks. Dennis seemed to have disappeared completely, leaving no trace at all. His disappearance is still a mystery. One possible lead that searchers didn't follow was a report from another family the evening that the boy went missing. The Key family allegedly heard a scream and then saw a bear man with something slung over its shoulder that looked like it could be a small child. We'll never know whether this was related to Martin's disappearance.
A bear man?
A bear man.
What the fuck is that?
In other words, Bigfoot.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. And the whole thing about the rain, that makes me think like, okay, Bigfoot is like some sort of supernatural inner dimension.
I have listened to other podcasts, and some people think that that Bigfoot is actually from a different dimension.
I've heard that too, because there's zero evidence.
Yeah.
So they have to be coming from somewhere else and like visiting.
Yeah, and they're obviously stealing people from national forests.
Oh my god, no. That's crazy.
Number 4, Douglas Legg, 1971. Douglas Legg and some of his family was heading out for a hike in the Adirondack Forest Preserve's Santantoni Preserve. Jesus. When his uncle spotted poison ivy and told Legg to put on long pants to protect himself. The family's cabin was a short, straight shot from where they were, but Legg never returned. Unlike a lot of kids who have gone missing in national parks, Legg was very familiar with these woods. His family owned the cabin where they were staying and described Legg as a mini woodsman because they were all hiked there together so often. Legg's disappearance sparked one of the southern Adirondacks' largest search and rescue missions, more than 600 people searching the woods, but like David Gonzalez, Legg left no trail. Unlike in the Gonzalez case, though, rescuers used dogs in their search. Some accounts describe dogs following Legg's scent over a 30-mile trail through difficult terrain. How could a young child have traveled alone for such a distance? Some searchers reported seeing bear-like tracks near the site. While black bears do drag their prey to cover, dragging someone 30 miles over difficult terrain seems unusual. The family became desperate and began suspecting each other and even their friends of abducting Legg, but the police were certain that the mini woodsman had simply gotten lost. He was never found.
Oh my god. I mean, I wonder what the odds of that happening if he's an actual like woodsman.
Yeah.
I wonder what the odds of that are, that he would just get lost.
Especially going to his cabin.
Yeah, that
He
makes no
went
sense.
to over and over and over again. They said it was a straight shot.
Then that makes no sense at all.
No, it doesn't.
Oh my god.
Number 3, John Devine, 1997. According to Peninsula Daily News, Olympic National Park in northern Washington state has a feature that's not as majestic as its mountain views. At least 4 hikers have mysteriously disappeared from the area in the past 25 years, one of whom was 73-year-old John Devine. In 1997, Devine planned to hike into the park from Mount Baldy. The trail is a tough 24 miles, and though Devine was elderly, he was also an experienced long-distance hiker. Devine was camping with his friend Greg Balzer, who split up on the day that Devine went missing. Balzer went off to hunt while Devine took off on a day hike. Devine never returned. The fruitless search for Devine lasted a full week until a rescue helicopter crashed, killing 3 people and injuring 5 others.
Oh shit.
By that time, weather conditions had deteriorated, making the chances of finding Devine slim. Friends and family said that Devine wouldn't want to put people in danger on his behalf, and the search was called off. The search helicopter's crash is as mysterious as Devine's disappearance. Before takeoff, the pilot used a hand signal indicating that he was going to wait 5 minutes for conditions to improve before attempting it. A moment later, the helicopter departed vertically without warning and crashed into the side of the mountain.
What?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That makes me think something like supernatural.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
Yeah, he's saying he's going to wait 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden he
Yeah.
just... And that's it.
Oh my gosh. What? Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Number 2, David Gonzalez, 2004. At 8 a.m. On a July day in 2004, David Gonzalez asked his mother if he could have the car keys. There was a box of cookies in the car and he wanted a treat. The car was only 50 yards away, and his mother watched him as he walked to the parking lot near their Big Bear Lake campsite in Northern California's San Bernardino National Forest. She turned her back for a second, and when she looked around again, Gonzalez was gone. His mother reported that she had heard no sound at all when her back was turned, though she did see a beige truck speeding out of the campground around the time that her son went missing. Since there were no signs of abduction, authorities did not pursue that lead. The cookies that Gonzalez went to get were still in his family's locked van, so he never made it to the car. Rescue teams in San Bernardino County scoured the woods for Gonzalez. They found no signs of struggle or of the boy. The search went on for 9 days, but rescuers never found him alive. Almost a year later, hikers stumbled upon the boy's remains about a mile from his family's campsite. Authorities chalked this up to a mountain lion attack, but how could a mountain lion have silently dragged a 9-year-old boy a mile without leaving any blood or signs of struggle?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't they pursue a kidnapping if she saw vans speeding
at least
off?
look at it.
Seriously. And what signs of struggle are they looking for in the woods? I mean,
I don't know.
I guess like scuffled footprints, but if it's a little boy and someone just walks up and grabs him and goes, slaps their hand over his mouth, say, I'm going to kill your entire family if you make a noise.
Yep.
That's all it takes. That's fucked up. Yeah, that's awful.
A mile from their campsite.
Oh my God.
He was right there.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
All right, number 1, and I do not know how to say this person's name.
Okay.
It looks like Prabdeep Sran was a 25-year-old Canadian Army reservist who disappeared from Australia's Kosciuszko National Park, located in the southeastern state of New South Wales. Sran was studying abroad in Australia in May 2013 when he decided to take a 1,700-mile road trip from the Gold Coast to Melbourne. Sran rented a van, drove to the park's Charlotte Pass in the Snowy Mountains, and no one has seen him since. The search for Sran... I don't know how to say this name. Sran began when the rental company discovered that the van wasn't returned. Sran hadn't told anyone what route or side hikes he was planning, and the search may have started days or even a week after he went missing, since it was the rental company that first reported the disappearance. Searchers figured out his hike plans by looking at the search history on a laptop they recovered from his van. Sran's family hired private searchers after Australian authorities called off their search after only 2 weeks. The investigators used tower data from Sran's phone and a trained dog to track his trail to a treacherous area called the Western Fall Wilderness. Just 1 day before his van was due back to the rental agency, Sran embarked on a difficult and time-consuming hike in snowy weather. Why would a trained military reservist make a choice like that? Despite a private search that went on for over a year, Sran's body has never been recovered.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
That's all I got.
I love it. Okay. My stories, I did creepy experiences that people have where they work alone. So on the job,
Yeah.
they can't leave, and they experience some creepy shit. So I got all of these from Ranker. So this is from Dead Med Stud.
Oh, wait, before you go.
Oh, yeah.
The stuff I got came from howstuffworks.com.
Okay, cool. Okay, so first one. I worked as an assistant in the morgue. As a med student, I got to open and study the bodies of people that donated to the university. All the bodies were stored in a giant walk-in freezer. Also, the morgue had a motion sensor system inside the freezer, so if you get stuck inside, an alarm would activate and someone would come and help you. One time I was working alone because my teacher was doing some paperwork in his office that was in an adjacent building. I heard a lot of noise, but I thought it was from my teacher in the other building or something like that. when suddenly the fucking alarm goes off, scaring the shit out of me. In that moment, I was like, shit, the teacher is stuck in the freezer.
Oh.
That's where his mind, automatically
Yeah.
went. And when I was running to the freezer, my teacher grabbed my arm and told me I thought you were in the freezer.
Oh my gosh. I just got chills.
In that moment, we stayed there staring at the door until he stopped the alarm and opened the door. I was behind him with a fucking broom waiting for the worst. When he opened the freezer, we didn't find anything that could activate the motion sensor. There wasn't anybody, at least not alive. We decided that it was enough for the day and we left the morgue early.
Yeah.
Oh my
I don't know if I
gosh.
would ever go back.
I know, it's so creepy. Okay, this one is from Redditor WE Coyote 73. I worked overnights in an adolescent RTC for a short time. About a week into the job, I was told about Amanda. Amanda was a resident from around 10 years prior who managed to hang herself in the shower. According to my coworkers, she would sometimes make appearances at night in the form of making whimpering sounds in the supply room, or on very rare occasions she would actually appear in the corner of the hallway nearest to her old room. I blew off the story thinking they were just messing with the new guy, until one night about 2 months later, I was doing rounds while my partner took a smoke break. I was checking the kids were asleep when I saw a girl sitting in the corner of the hallway with her arms around her knees, which were pulled up to her chin. Something about her body language told me she was really sad. I started to approach her but heard a noise from behind me. I checked to find nothing awry, and when I looked back at the corner, the girl was gone. When my coworker returned from his smoke break, I told him what I saw and he said, "Yep, that's Amanda." Oh my gosh, no way. Next one is from Redditor King Coover. My dad worked in a haunted Toys R Us in Sunnyvale, California.
I've heard about that.
Have you really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So this guy worked there. He worked as a night watchman back in the day to pay for school. Cool gig, got to sit around and study while being paid for doing next to nothing. He learned how to juggle and play the guitar. Weird stuff happened there all the time. Objects would fall off the shelves as you walked past them. Lights would flicker on and off from time to time. Noises from the other side of the hall, stuff like that. So there he was, big, mostly dark store all by himself, thinking about the ghost. He said aloud, "If there's a ghost here, then that balloon, the red one in the middle of the roof, will pop." Right as he finished that sentence, the balloon burst.
Oh my god.
Suffice to say, he turned on all the lights in the building and got as close to the door as he could for the rest of the shift. Okay, this one is from Redditor Phantom61. Worked overnight as a master control operator in my youth. One night around 3 a.m., I catch a sight of the camera as we aimed it to the back door, and there's someone standing there wearing a scream mask, staring at the camera and not moving. I go back to the door, which is magnetically sealed and deadbolted overnight, and the door is next to impossible to force open, and look at the peephole, and there's no one there. I head back to the control to see them walk back into frame, wave at the camera, and then walk away. I called the cops, they found nothing, and the camera doesn't record, so it's live feed only. That was that.
That was a prank.
Yeah, it was, but oh my gosh.
That
what
is still creepy.
Yeah. Okay, this one is from USMC Missile Man. I was photographing a waterfall in a deep basin. I was the only one in the basin and alone from 6 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. The trail that comes in was right up against the rock face that went straight up and above 400 feet high. When I was heading back there was bare, wet human footprints up the stones of the trail, and I got to a spot where I could see muddy footprints leading into the brush. A few moments later, I heard a blood-curdling scream from the same bushes. The sound to me sounded like a mountain lion. They are common in the area, and I ran faster than I have ever run before. I called the rangers to my mile marker, and I've checked back since then. No missing person reports have been filed, nor was anyone's car in the area that night. Easily one of the scariest experiences I've had. Which, I read this, and at the, I was like, well, then, if it sounded like a mountain lion, it's a mountain lion. But where did the fucking wet footprints come from?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So,
it's a were-lion.
Oh my god. Like freaking True Blood. Well, if you read the books, did they have the lion on them?
I don't know.
I don't know. If you haven't read it and you guys are readers, Southern Vampire series.
Awesome.
Charlize
Harris, or watch True Blood if you haven't. Shame
True
on
Blood
you.
isn't as good as the books.
Absolutely not. I
Not
mean,
even
no,
close.
no. But it was still good. Well, for the first few seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, from
Where
Reddit,
they actually followed the books, you mean?
exactly. Yeah.
Then they veered like totally off, and it was like, what?
And
the
then they
fuck?
just ended it, and it was weird.
So
and-
weird.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
moving on. Next one's from Banana Bugs.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, ew. Worked overnights at 2 different 24-hour residential treatment centers for teens, aka Poltergeist Soup. We, staff and clients, would see and hear things / people during the middle of the night almost every night. I remember when I worked at a drug and alcohol rehab facility, it used to be a nunnery attached to a church. I used to hear women singing through our speaker that communicated with our doorbell for visiting hours. I could see through the window of the door from where I would be sitting, and there was never anything there. Could you imagine just hearing disembodied singing all the time?
No.
I would freak out. Okay.
I guess if nothing happened, though, you'd just be like, whatever.
After a while.
Yeah.
But the first time, I mean, I would go nuts trying to find that.
I would, too. I'd be looking around all night. That's all I would do.
That would be nuts.
I'd be like, that's got to be coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah, because again, your mind goes to the most logical thing, and that would be, oh, someone's playing music through a speaker.
Yeah.
Where's the speaker?
yes.
Oh, and then if you couldn't find it, you'd be creeped out.
Yes.
Okay, so last one is from Cloverleaf66. Worked alone evenings cleaning in a building by myself. Had been there about 3 years by this time. I had my headphones in the elevator, and the song I was listening to abruptly stopped partway through. Then Stairway to Heaven started to play. I didn't even have Stairway to Heaven on my MP3 player.
Ah.
It had never been on my MP3
Oh,
player.
my gosh.
And I wasn't going to include that one, but then I like put myself in that person's shoes, and that is fucking creepy.
Yes, it is.
So I went
Just
ahead.
it doesn't even matter where you're at or what you're doing. If your iPod stops,
Yeah.
because your iPod isn't like your phone.
Right.
An iPod only has music on it that you've put on there,
Exactly.
and for it to stop totally and change to a song that you have never put on.
Oh my God. Yeah.
that is freaky.
Exactly. So those were my creepy stories for the week.
Awesome. Now it's time for the witty wrap up.
Yay, whatever!
So this one's for Brandy too.
Yay, you make me
These
feel very
are
special.
911 calls,
Yay!
but they're funny.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so a Canadian woman dialed 911 after hearing yelling and shouting coming from her neighbor's apartment. When cops arrived, they pounded on the door until the occupant finally opened up. That's when they discovered that the man was in no danger. He'd just been having a rough time on the toilet.
No.
Could you imagine trying to use the bathroom and someone knocking on your door and you go and answer it and they're like, "Are you okay?"
Especially if it's the police.
Okay. A burglar in Shelby County, Ohio, was caught by police after he accidentally butt dialed 911 while breaking into a home.
Oh, shit.
Making matters worse, the crook hid in a closet, but was ratted out by his phone yet again when the low battery alarm went off.
Ha ha, that's what you get.
Yep. After receiving a frantic 911 call, the Regina, Canada Fire Department raced off to battle an inferno at the local Canadian Football League stadium. The fire, it turns out, was a burning log displayed on the stadium's giant video screen.
Oh my God. No. That's hilarious.
A man in Lincoln, Nebraska learned that sometimes you just have to let it go, man. Just let it go. He arrived home one day to find he'd been burgled and that his favorite hookah pipes were missing. So he called the cops.
Oh my
But it was
God.
he who ended up in jail after police arrived and found the pot plants he was growing.
Oh shit, man. Yeah, let it go.
How stupid can you be?
Seriously, yeah, he deserved to be caught.
A woman in Dacula, Georgia, contacted police when her Chevy van went missing. Later that day, the woman called back to report that the vehicle had been found. It was in her yard, hidden behind weeds.
No, oh my god. That's embarrassing.
I think that means you need to cut your
Oh
grass.
my gosh.
After making numerous calls to 911, a Lundar, Canada man was warned that the next one could land him in jail. That prompted him to reveal his real reason for calling. "If you're coming to get me," he told the dispatcher, "can you bring me some smokes?"
Lazy.
Seriously?
Oh my god, what a moron.
When a British man saw a mysterious flying object that lit up the sky, he immediately called the authorities. But before the police could react, the man called back saying, "Mystery solved. The UFO was actually the moon."
Shut the fuck up. That is, oh my god, no. No!
What is that round orb in the sky?
Oh my god, that is so stupid.
Oh, man. A woman in Kalispell, Montana, called police insisting that her neighbor's loud music caused her house to develop a heartbeat.
Wha- Oh my gosh. Oh, I wonder how old that person was.
Oh, I don't know. That's... A Romanian man called the police to report hearing a strange noise in the house he happened to be burgling. Police arrived and arrested the man who, as it turned out, was the only one in the house aside from the homeowner's noisy cat. Why would you call the police when you're robbing somebody?
I don't know.
Just because you hear a strange... Wouldn't you just leave?
I don't know. I mean, oh my
People are so
god.
stupid. Gosh. A Jacksonville, Florida man was so upset when a sandwich shop left the special sauce off his hero that he called 911
Oh my god.
twice.
Oh my
The first
God.
time was to ask if officers can make sure his sandwich was made properly. The second time to complain that the cops weren't responding fast enough to the first call.
I wonder why.
They need to respond and arrest him for being
Seriously.
a dumbass.
Oh my gosh, how stupid.
When a 7-year-old girl called 911 and then hung up, the Burnett, Wisconsin police were dispatched to her home. When they arrived, they discovered the problem. The girl's grandfather was cheating in a game of cards.
Oh my gosh. So stupid.
You're cheating! I'm calling the cops on you!
So stupid.
After Elaine Owen saw a red glow in her trailer's bathroom, she called 911 to report a fire. When firemen showed up, they discovered that the flames were actually sunlight reflected off the shower curtain.
Why is that your first
Exactly.
immediate reaction?
You can't do a little investigating
Seriously.
on your own.
Oh my god. That is insane. And you know, God bless police for dealing with these people.
Oh my gosh, I know. And that's just the crazy ones. Not even
Yeah.
the real,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
A 10-year-old Brockton, Massachusetts boy called 911, then abruptly hung up. When the dispatcher called back, she discovered the problem. Much to the boy's annoyance, his mother was insisting that he go to bed.
Oh, so call the police by all means. Where the fuck did he learn that? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, there's something wrong.
A Norwegian man dialed the police to complain that he was unable to leave the hair salon where he was getting a trim. Upon further investigation, police learned that the man couldn't leave because he so loathed his haircut he was too embarrassed to be seen.
Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, you're a dude. Shave it off and get over it.
Why do they call 911?
Exactly. I mean, that... I don't know. I don't know. That's insane. Oh my gosh. I can't even. I can't.
So that's all I got.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much again for listening. We really, really appreciate it. Look up our Facebook page, and we want to hear those stories.
Please send us your stories.
Send us your stories. We want our entire podcast to be full of them. So we got a long way to go. Mm-hmm. So send us your stories. Ghouls Night Out Podcast at gmail.com. And we will talk to you next week.
Later.
Bye.